Well, I'm working on a few things right now. I do have the weekly YouTube videos that I'm working on, which take a lot of time on top of working 8 hours a day. So I've had to get creative with some of the videos, as in be less creative because I have less time. The other thing I'm doing, I'm also working on some miniatures again, which is cool. I'm making miniatures for a job, for someone. It's a lot of fun. I haven't done much yet, but I made a brick wall. It's a tiny little brick wall. It's made out of foam board. That takes about 5 to 6 hours out of the week. A lot out of the little time that I have. On top of that, I have the Christmas short film that I'm trying to work on. I wrote the script. It's 11 pages long. I wrote a very big story that takes place in a location that's not near my home, which was dumb. And I might have to rewrite it to make it more achievable, but still have the same effect. I still am very much down to write that story. On top of that, a film competition popped up, and I'm going to try and work on that. The competition ends December 10th, so I will be trying to have the film done by then. That may take up a lot of my time next week, so there's a lot of it. There's a lot of stuff going on.
None of this is to complain or brag about how much stuff I have going on. It's just a testament to what has changed. If we look at my first video, you see I wasn't really doing anything to work towards my career. That video was the first thing in a line of things to get there. I've been saying yes to every opportunity that can help me out in the future, and it has made me two things. It has made me very busy, but it has also made me very productive. And I could not be happier with what's happened. I mean, I'm busy. I don't even think I can complete all of it, but how great is that I'm at a place where I don't know if I can complete it all rather than not having anything to complete, and I'm thankful for that. I have so many different projects to work on, and I haven't been able to talk in full disclosure about all of them, but eventually you guys will see what I've been working on, and I'm super excited.
Oh yeah, okay, so there is something else I'm doing. So about 2 months ago, I got this paint set. So this is the Himi Gouache 24 colors. I got it for about $23, so a great price. Let's take a look inside. Comes with a palette with a mixing place, multiple small compartments. Super cool that it comes with that. And then we have a detail brush. We have a square tipped brush and then rounded tip brush. Sure there's technical names for them. I'm excited to get painting with this. We have a goal in mind that's not just painting, because we can already paint, but we want to do something cooler with that. We want to bring it alive. We want to make film with it, so let's try. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, I've finished this one. This was my first experience with gouache paint. Honestly, it was a lot different than I expected. It felt a lot like watercolor, but it then again felt probably more like acrylic, although the layering was a bit difficult. I think it'll work, but I was able to at least learn a lot about it. I can scan this one and start animating on it. Okay, so I've been doing the animation, and this is what I have so far. This is just the sketch layer, but here we go. It grows out of the ground and then it blossoms. I've put endless hours into this thing. I've learned what I should have already known, is that animation takes a lot longer than you think it will. And even so, I did my best to keep it simple, but I created a project that took a little too much work to be done in a reasonable time frame. So I'm only gonna be doing one shot. I was planning on doing 2 shots, which I thought was like, oh yeah, I could do 2 shots, 2 paintings, you know, and then some quick animation over it. Apparently not, because this first one is ridiculously time consuming. I could have made it a lot easier if I had just done 1 plant blooming, not 4 or 5 different strands, but no, I did multiple, and I've already put too much work in to go back and just
delete it, so I'm going with it. I didn't get to spend as much time on coloring as I wish I would have been able to, so it's not gonna be to my satisfaction. That's part of learning. I literally started out with a paint medium that I had never painted with before, and now I'm using an animation tool that I've briefly used. This really was an exercise to learn, not the limits, but just kind of a doorway into so many other projects. But for now, I'm going to try my best to get this finished in time. I mean for the video that I'm going to edit this week. It actually turns out that while I'm running this app, this iPad can't hold a charge even while I'm charging it, just because the app uses so much RAM. Where I was going with this kind of gritty background, like broken bricks, and is this kind of like post-apocalyptic feel to it, right? But you don't really know that from the first frame just because it's just some bricks on the ground. But there's no plants in sight. It's all just, you know, gross brick and whatnot. So what I want to have this water splash down like it's dripping. You don't know what it's coming from at this point. Then you'd see this plant kind of magically grow out of the ground. I'd wanted a second frame, or second shot, and that would be of this kind of post-apocalyptic guy with all his gear, and he's watering the ground, and behind him is all these plants that are growing, and in front of him is the barren wasteland. So it'd be kind of this story told in 2 frames that he's kind of watering the rebirth of plant growth in the world, or in the city, or however you want to imagine it. Okay, well, my Apple Pencil's running low. The battery on this is running low, even though it's been charging this whole time. It was at, what, like 25%? Now it's at 3, so there's the limit, I guess. I'm gonna run through the animation real quick and just kind of see how it looks. Actually, I'm gonna try and, before the battery runs out, I'm gonna try and drop color in all of this just so I can be more visual about it and see how things are looking. There it went.